Today I'll be going over the Racel app and a lot of changes that have taken place on it. If you recall, we used to use it as the tracker that would send information from your device to Racel itself. That has totally changed now, and the Racel app is now used for entirely race viewing, so more for ground crew and for spectators of the races. So you would use this a lot like what you would normally have gone to the website to do before, as far as looking for when a racer is going to be into a certain checkpoint, or what the standings are, or looking at a race map. So let's get into it. I will need to install the app here. Alright, so once it installs, it will pop up, and as always you want to give it the permissions, and I will use while using the app. It's going to use position, mostly just to see where you're at relative to selection of races and so forth. First thing to note, it will pop up the screen here. This is your main screen where you will navigate to the various different other settings on the app. First thing we do, we select a race. Now when it first popped up, it will have downloaded from Racel. You can also manually do this if it's out of sync. You can go and get the latest and greatest races from Racel, but normally it would have done that automatically. Next thing we do, you would select a race. So whatever race you're interested in viewing, go ahead and click this, and it'll show the current races that are underway. And we'll pick the RPC shootout just for an example. It will reset any checkpoints that you might have recorded, and now you're in a new race altogether. First thing to do here would be to look at race results. So let's pop into that. It'll pop up the current race results, and it will show you the various different racers that are out there. So things that are in green are active racers that have non-stale data, as in data that is at least less than an hour old. And red ones are racers whose data has gone a little bit stale, so more than an hour. And you'll see as you get to the bottom, a lot of racers that just never started their apps. If you look at this, you will see from the left to the right, you'll see the overall position, you'll see the division position, you'll see the race number or boat number, you'll see percent complete for the course, and the estimated arrival at whatever the next checkpoint is. So this person will be at Lexington at 4:11 p.m. So just a few minutes from now. If you click on each of this, it'll give you a little bit of details as far as race number is, the team is, division, and sort of the speed and so forth, as far as where they've been and where they're going. It's sometimes useful to filter on these, and say you want to look at a particular division. You can do that by picking something not all. So if I don't want to look at the double blade tandem, I go down here, pick that, I go back, and now only double blade tandems are shown. I can further filter it if I want to look at a particular checkpoint. So maybe all the double blade tandems that are coming into Lexington, I can now show. Again, I can look for a particular boat even if I want. So it will go for any text. So maybe I want to go back here and I want to look for a particular boat number or racer number. So look for 0531, go back, and then it'll show you only that racer and wherever on the course that that person is. Clear that. One other thing on the filter list is active racers only. So this is basically saying if you are actively racing, then it's going to show up. If I turn that off, all my racers, even the ones that are finished. So these folks have finished the race. If I go back here and turn this on, then it'll disappear anyone who's already finished or has dropped out of the race, as in it did not start or did not finish. Alright, so we'll go back, and now let's take a look at the race map. Is where this is a very new thing, in that this is going to show you like what you would see on the website, except it is kind of in a reduced form. So here I see the various different racers coming into Lexington. That's the finish line for this particular race. As you look at it, you can zoom in, zoom out just by pinching the screen. I've got to do an emulation here, so I'll just pinch it like this. You can see a little bit further out. It won't zoom the whole race, but you've got about 25 miles that you can zoom in and see what's upstream. If the course kind of curves funny, you can also rotate it. So you can rotate it just by kind of rotating with your fingers, and you'll get a little bit more of the view screen in. As you zoom in, you know, if you get closer, it'll actually show the bounds of the course, all the things that would be like the edges of the river or whatever roadway you're on, if you're a dune buggy or so forth. You'll see here, you'll see the red line is the navigation course, and the boat here you'll see is actually in red, so that it's gone stale data. If I want to see what that person is, I just click on them. It'll give the team, it'll give the racer number, and division and so forth. So that then will show up on this position here. If I zoom out, then I can see more coming in. White ones are active, and that means their data is not stale. If I click it in, I'll see that he is due in at 4:11. This one is due in at 4:29, and so forth. The distance out from the waypoint, and so forth. So this is 1.8 miles, and then 4.1 miles out. Again, I can rotate that around and bring it back in. And you can do that also with, just like you were able to do on the other screen, you can also filter. So I can look for only single blades. There you go, just the one. All right, another one up here. There he is. I can look for, we'll do double blade tandem. And there's a few of them here. So you can see these two racers are going. Same deal as far as the next checkpoints and so forth. If I just want to look at, a particular one, I can go over to Lexington, and you'll see all the racers coming in. So I'll go back to all, and you'll see all the racers have now passed Napoleon and are heading into the finish line. If I go and I set this show active racers only, that's similar to the other screen, where I can turn this off, and then you will see anyone who is DNS'd or so forth or still on the map. Okay, stale racers. This is actually a little bit different in that, say that there's some, a lot of times on these big races the trackers start dying, and so if you don't want to see them anymore because you don't know where they're at, you can actually go here and just say hide the stale ones, and then anyone that has stale data will just disappear from the map. So you only see the active ones that are currently pinging the server with their location. This is kind of a key thing here, is the estimated positions. So unlike a map that we look at with the server, this one, because it's on an app, you can actually dig in, and it will allow you to estimate exactly where the people are, and it will use their speed to let you kind of see a real time. All right, so here's this racer 1104. I zoom in on him. You can see kind of like he is actually moving on the screen. Zoom a little bit further in. And you can see it's using his average speed to then project him as far as his estimated position. And yeah, so you can see here we are moving ever so slowly towards that finish line. All right, so that is that. If I turn off estimated position, then I go back here and it'll show you the last real position that was reported by each of the trackers. So this was actually where it was at exactly 4:11 p.m. This is where they were at 4:29 and so forth. Otherwise, it'll be the estimated position as they're going down. Yeah, I think that's about it. One thing on the default racer, these two are actually for this check-in, check-out. This would put in, if you're like following a particular person, you could put in their number, and then check-in, check-out would be using that as a sort of default value. You can use this to manually check in and check out. I won't do that here because it's actually a race, and so we'll skip that particular part. Cap code is only for official use. We should never be using it as a observer of a race. All right, I think that does it for this app. All right, have a good adventure race, and we'll see you soon. Bye.